Jess De Los Santos, and this is One News Now. The Octa Research Group supports the downgrading of Metro Manila to Alert Level 2 as COVID-19 cases ease further. Maricel Halili is reporting live from Mandaluyong City for more details. Masay, how is Octa seeing the situation so far?
Hi, Jess. Octa Research Group is optimistic with the current trend that we are experiencing right now, especially in Metro Manila. Professor Guido David of Octa Research Group acknowledged that Metro Manila now has a 5% positivity rate. It's actually a good news because this is the ideal rate provided by the World Health Organization. Professor Guido David said that he doesn't see any hindrance for the imposition of Alert Level 2 in the next few days, considering the lowering of cases of COVID-19. That's number one. And of course, number two, the subvariant of Delta that was identified in the United Kingdom remains to be it's not a threat so far in the Philippines. So he doesn't see any hindrance in imposing Alert Level 2 anytime soon.
Okay. Should the downtrend in cases continue, does Octa at least have any projection or model as to how many cases there will be at least by end November?
Well, so far they are optimistic and they are still hopeful that the number of cases will continue to decrease this coming month. And so far, Professor Guido David said that now the R0, particularly in Metro Manila, is below 1. We're experiencing they have recorded about 0.9 of our R0 or the transmission rate. So hopefully this will continue and we'll have a better Christmas this year.
That is, of course, the hope that we will have a merrier Christmas this year. But what is Octa's reaction as well to the government's target to administer at least 1.5 million vaccine shots daily? Do they think that this at least is feasible?
Well, it will be a challenge for the government to administer 1.5 million jobs a day. Professor Guido David said that we are now, or the government has already recorded about 500 to 600,000 jobs a day. Now, to be able to achieve 1.5 million jobs a day, they also need to increase the distribution of vaccines, not just in Metro Manila, but in other provinces as well. Prior to the interview of the Octa Research Group, some members of the National Task Force, particularly the Department of Interior and Local Government, has already given their statement. They said that they are actually planning to impose a quota for a local government unit when it comes to their vaccination a day to make sure that they can achieve the 1.5 million inoculation or vaccination every day.
Okay, from the COVID situation, let's move on to a different topic this time around. I do believe that during the Laging Handa briefing, of course, the postponement of the elections in the Bangsamoro region was also discussed. What's the update on that one, Masay?
Well, so far, the officials of the Bangsamoro region are happy with the decision of President Duterte to postpone the election in that particular region because, for one, they still have to implement some provisions drafted in the comprehensive agreement of the Bangsamoro region. This includes the phase 2 of the decommissioning. According to the BARM officials, they are actually targeting about 14,000 individuals to participate in the phase 2 of the decommissioning, but it did not happen because of the struggle when it comes to the COVID-19 pandemic. So hopefully they can finish the implementation of these provisions in 3 years.
Okay, so how long will it take before that transitional program is completed, and can this at least be concluded in time for the next midterm polls in 2025?
Well, the BARM officials are optimistic that they can finish the transition program before the end of the extension period. So far, according to BARM officials, they have already completed 60% of the transition program. But of course, they still have a lot of things to do, particularly in the poverty, the infrastructure program, which is included in the transition period. One of the challenges that they are facing right now is the opening of the economy or the economic recovery, considering the problems that they have encountered on the pandemic. Not just the pandemic, but of course, if you recall, Jess, pre-pandemic period, this particular region has also experienced a war, a local war with between the government and the insurgencies and the military activist or terrorists in that particular region. So they have to face these challenges, and hopefully they can recover in terms of the economy anytime soon.
Okay, the hope again is for them to at least conclude this within the given time frame. Thank you very much for your updates. Maricel Halili reporting live from Mandaluyong. Now, people who were administered COVID-19 vaccines more than 6 months ago are reportedly seeing decreased protection. That's according to the vaccine expert panel. Panel member Ronjin Solante tells Agenda many seniors with comorbidities still developed severe symptoms even if they were fully vaccinated since March or April. Solante says the public must strictly follow health protocols until the rollout of third doses.
We need to encourage yung mga bata pa rin at saka yung mga matatanda because in the real ground experience, maski ngayon meron pa rin tayong mga admissions ng mga COVID. No? Our thought on that is because of the waning protection as they are already more than 6 months after the first, the completion of the 2 vaccines.
The panel also thinks this year's target of vaccine population of 77 million is a tall order. Solante says a vaccination rate in Visayas and Mindanao remains slow and the remaining 2 months won't be enough to catch up.
Sabihin yan dito sa National Capital Region, but what about for the other, especially sa mga Visayas and Mindanao, no? I'm not quite positive that we can achieve that 77 million before the end of the year.
More stories after this short break. Stay with us. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Jess De Los Santos. Public utility vehicles in Metro Manila may operate from half capacity to 70% starting Thursday. Our correspondent Gerard De La Peña is in Mandaluyong to give us updates. Gerard, how does this fare for our drivers and commuters?
Well, Jess, definitely it's a good news for drivers as this will help them offset their losses from the pandemic, more so from the weeks-long oil price hikes. Now, meanwhile, for many commuters, they're not really comfortable with this, as this would mean higher transmission risks, especially in public transportation. The DOTR says that this will also be implemented in Bulacan, Rizal, Cavite, and Laguna, which are areas that are seen to have a significant increase in commuter volume. The department cited an unnamed study stating that PUVs only pose moderate risk for spreading COVID. The agency also tells jeepney drivers to start dismantling their plastic barriers. Citing another study, the DOTR says physical distancing inside PUVs is unnecessary since face masks and frequent hand sanitizing already suffice in curbing infections. The Octa Research Group, meanwhile, sees nothing wrong with implementing increased capacity in PUVs, noting that the majority of adult population in NCR have already received their vaccines. But the group says increased vaccination should still be prioritized in other areas to complement more relaxed policies in public transportation. Just the DOTR says that the implementation of the increase to 70% will eventually be 100%, and now it tells the public to just wait for further announcements regarding this. Jess.
All right, thank you very much for those updates, Gerard De La Peña. Here's a quick look at today's other top stories. Shell, Clean Fuel, and Sea Oil have announced price increase in gasoline starting tomorrow. Gas prices are up by 1 peso and 15 centavos per liter. But some good news, diesel prices will see a 35 centavo per liter rollback. A 30 centavo rollback in prices of kerosene will also be implemented. Some areas in Parañaque, Makati, Pasay, and Manila will experience extended Maynilad water interruption until November 2. Maynilad said this is due to problems in the work site of their pipe realignment project. The water concessionaire said they will continue to deploy 65 mobile water tankers for affected residents. And the Netflix hit series Squid Games has taken over Halloween. People from Hong Kong, Taiwan, South Korea, and other countries wore their Squid Game-inspired costumes for their Halloween parties. The survival thriller series has received 142 million views since its debut. For more updates, visit News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe. Philippines, I'm Jess De Los Santos. We are One News.